Hello everybody, you know me, Dr. Charles, and we are going to look at ancient architects' theory in this episode. In an earlier episode, I talked about why it's a great theory. Here are some evidences for it. I still think it's a great theory, however, I also think it's a long shot. So this is me saying it's a long shot, giving the examples why, and saying what actually the bent pyramid could be. So let's just have a look at what ancient architects said about this as a preliminary, and he doesn't mind me doing this. Let's go.
Constructions of the Great Ziggurat of yore, the basal step of the structure is large and steep, and the upper layers are smaller and shallower. If you use this smaller upper step pyramid as the core masonry to turn a ziggurat into a true pyramid, the resulting structure would be in the form of a bent pyramid, not dissimilar to what we see at Dashur. There is very limited evidence to say that the top portion of the bent pyramid was built at a different time to the steeper lower portion, but there is some. For example, Perring analysed the structure in 1837 and observed that the stones in the upper section were laid with less care than those below. Some explain this by saying that the pyramid builders simply rushed the end of the project, which... Okay, awesome. Thank you, Ancient. Now, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Here's why it probably isn't a ziggurat. It's just too small. I mean, it's too big. It's too big. It's way too big, and ziggurats are way too small. Way too small. So, for example, the incredibly famous ziggurat at is only about it's about 60 by 60 meters. There are bigger ziggurats. For example, this ziggurat in Iran, and this is probably the best preserved, but it obviously has been rebuilt somewhat. And they're never rebuilt on top because we don't know what the top looked like. And essentially, this one here is called the Chokar Zanbil in Iran. And it's 100 meters on each side, which makes it almost as big as the Egyptian pyramids. So, well, there's that going for it as well. So that's, you know, that's something going for Ancient's theory. So it could be something like this that's been rebuilt. But here's the problem. Here's the problem, guys. We don't see ziggurats in Egypt. Except for maybe the first dynasty mastabas, which look similar but are not ziggurats, we don't have ziggurats in Egypt. The ziggurat represents a Mesopotamian ideal, or something the Parthians would have used later on. It's something, say, the Elamites used in terms of the Iranian ziggurat. This is an Elamite construction. So this is the thing: ziggurats are not found in Egypt, and they are smaller than what you find in Egypt. Okay, they're smaller. Maybe they built around the ziggurat, increasing the size. Hey, that's quite possible. That's quite possible. But the thing is, the Egyptian pyramids are much bigger, and they seem to represent a different tradition. So, for example, the Zoser pyramid, 3rd dynasty. The Zoser pyramid has a base of 121 meters, which makes it bigger than the ziggurats. However, I think. And this is the thing. This is something that's going for ancient architects. Look, this is the Zoser pyramid. It was built around that, which was built on top of a mastaba. That could have been a ziggurat. That is about ziggurat size. So if that's about, say, 120. That would be maybe about 90 meters. So this would make it comparable to the ziggurat in the Chogkar Zanbil ziggurat in Iran. So it would have made it about this size. Do I think it was converted to ziggurat? Hey, maybe there could have been a staircase here. There might have been some things going on. I don't know. But you know, it's so hard to say. And the other pyramids are even bigger, which makes it really difficult. The Medum pyramid. The Medum pyramid is. It is bigger yet. It is a base of 144 meters when it was built, and I want you to cast your eyes on this because ancients suggested this could have been a ziggurat. Do you see these blocks? So these are the blocks of the Medum pyramid. It did have casing stones like 4th dynasty. The casing stones look to me like the Khufu casing stones, but underneath these blocks look a bit different. These look a bit weird. The Khufu stones are way higher. They're actually way higher quality. They're different to these. They're similar, but they're actually bigger. They're more square. These are elongated. These are more like the stones you get on the Saqqara pyramid, the Djoser pyramid. So there's something going for the idea that this might be it might have been a 3rd dynasty step pyramid underneath this collapsed Medum pyramid. But here's the main thing I want to tell you. And look, again, all these pyramids are much bigger than ziggurats. So for example, the red pyramid is, it's a bit neglected compared to the Khufu pyramids. It's absolutely epic. The red pyramid is the biggest of the so-called Sneferu pyramids. These were so-called built by Sneferu. They were probably converted. The red pyramid itself has a base of 220 meters. Now, of course, the Great Pyramid, you're pushing 250 meters. So this is almost a Great Pyramid. No one talks about the red pyramid. It's epic, absolutely epic. So Sneferu, I'm sorry, old boy, but you didn't do all these pyramids. You went on an epic pyramid renovation spree. That's what you were trying to do. And you were converting them. And your successors probably did something similar with Giza, because Giza contains ridiculous, ancient, high-tech information. So, Sneferu, old boy, it wasn't you. It wasn't you who built these pyramids. Yes, you converted them. Now, ancients suggested that this may have been a type of... well, it might have been a type of conversion. Yeah, I think so. Look, we've got a bit of hanging gardens here as well, because why do you have these allowances here for something to be added on top? There's something going on like that. These bricks could easily be pulled out, and you could add things to this. Yes, it looks like a finished structure to me. It's perfectly straight. This is what it's got. Hey, look, it's basically casing stones. Why would you put casing stones on the inside of a pyramid? And then these guys came along. They tried to hide it with these huge stones, and then there's more huge stones there than little narrower stones. Yes, it does look like 4th dynasty work, maybe a bit of 3rd dynasty work. But here's what I think happened. You have the collapsed Medium pyramid, and you have the bent pyramid, which ancient says was a ziggurat. Okay, I think this is more likely. I think this may have been collapsed when Sneferu got here, and he never got around to fixing this one up. This one was also collapsed. I think if they were built by the same people, they would have both collapsed. So now I'm thinking that Sneferu came along and he basically fixed it up. He fixed it up. So this area here corresponds to the huge amount of sand around the pyramid, and the top might correspond to covering up the tower. And of course, they didn't have to be as precise with the top. It could have been done way cheaper, because quite simply, according to ancients, this was already built, and this is done with a different type of stone. Honestly, I think it's, if you look at the red pyramid stone, the bent pyramid stone, sorry, and really look at it, I think it's, I think the red pyramid was essentially built to cover up a structure like this. So you have the structure going up like that. It was to cover up a collapsed structure. So this is going up like that, that would have gone up like that, and then down again. And of course, if we look at dimensions, so this, for example, at the base, they've sort of accurately measured where the base was, and it's got a lot of sand around it. No one can agree if this was the ramp or the pyramid itself that's collapsed, because pyramids did contain a lot of sand as well to fill them up. So essentially, this is, being the Medium pyramid, this has a base of 144 meters or 213 feet. So it would have almost been as big as the Giza pyramids. And the bent pyramid, it would have had a base of 189 meters, which is 40 meters bigger. So the bent pyramid, I think it's 20 meters on each side. They simply started with something like this that was collapsed. They added, it could have been from thousands of years older, and I agree that was a finished tower, and they simply built it around something like this, a collapsed pyramid. Did they build it around say a ziggurat? I don't know. I don't really see a ziggurat here. I see a kind of Mayan style step pyramid. I see that. That's what I see. This is obviously a type of ziggurat as well. But of course, this is back in the days of Solomon, in the days of Solomon's empire. So I think, look, using Occam's razor, it is more likely that Sneferu, since he was renovating pyramids, he started with a collapsed pyramid, not with a ziggurat he wanted to hide. And it was just something completely collapsed like this. It was exactly this. He never got around to this one, and he decided to finish this off. So he built a bent pyramid structure around it. Guys, that's what I think happened. And tell me what you think. I think this is more likely. We're using Occam's razor. I hate Occam's razor, but let's use it. It was simply another one of these. Guys, what do you think?